We all know that money is an emotional topic. It's tied to our dreams, our fears, and also to the sense of our self-esteem. But many of us don't realize of how much those emotions can influence our financial decisions. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 powerful lessons that I learned from the book of Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And those insights are not about managing money. They are about understanding how your mindset shapes your financial habits and how you can take control to build more secure and fulfilling life. And if you're new here, I'm business analyst, I'm working in investment banking, and I'm also MBA and CQL qualified. The lesson number 1 is the power of small financial security. This lesson might sound not very glamorous, but this is one of the most life-changing concepts in the personal finance. Even small amount of financial security can give you freedom and peace of mind. Think about this. If you are living from paycheck to paycheck, the idea of taking even one single day off when you are seen, it sounds impossible. You start to worry about falling behind of the paying the bills or paying your rent. But this is just a little financial cushion, a small emergency fund. It gives you the ability to take care of yourself without the fear. And it's not just financial security, it's dignity and control. Now imagine you're building that cushion a little bigger. And with the few months of the savings, now you have a power of choice. And if you lose your job, you don't have to jump on the first possible opportunity. Instead, you can take the time and find something that really aligns with your goals, your ambition, and your values. That breathing room can change your entire career trajectory. And here is the ultimate level. When you have your emergency built up to 6 months of your living costs. With that safety net, you're not worrying anymore about your boss or about your toxic environments. You can stand up for yourself, make the bold moves, or take time to pursue something better. This freedom is priceless. The takeaway here that wealth, it's not just about having a lot of money, it's about creating an options. It's about creating a cushions between you and life uncertainties. And you can make the choice what is the best for you and not what is necessary in this moment. The lesson number 2 is about the difference of being rich and being wealthy. This idea completely changed how I view money. The truth that we always confuse those two concepts, and this is very often lead to poor financial decisions. And the key to take away from here, that being rich is to have high income and flashy assets that everyone can see, but being wealthy, it's about to having financial security that you don't see. Think about that wealth, it's not about having expensive car, designer clothes or massive house. Those are the things that people can show off. Wealth, it's what you don't spend. Is the financial freedom that comes from saving and investment. This book even mentioned about Rihanna that she almost went bankrupt after overspending. Her advisor had to remind her if she would continue spending money on the things that she wouldn't have money at the end. Sounds simple, but this is such a huge mistake that a lot of people are making. And here is the fantastic quote from the investor Bill Mann, who said, "There is no faster way to feel rich than to spend lots of money on really nice things. But the way to be rich is to spend money you have and not to spend money you don't have it. It's really that simple." This is such a powerful point. It's not about showing off how you make, but it's about the financial freedom and not to worry about money. Here how you can apply this lesson. Focus on building a saving buffer. The only way to accumulate your wealth is by prioritizing long-term security over short-term spending. Let's move to lesson 3, which is the power of humility in saving money. This is such a powerful insight from Psychology of Money, and it challenges how most of us think about savings. We always assume that saving can be only possible if you have high income, but this is not true. So this book explains it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you manage to keep it. And in order to save more, you don't need to raise your income, you just need to embrace your humility. Here is the thing, that a lot of occasions our spending is driven by our ego. So we buy things to show others that we are successful and we have money. But this way of living, it's not just drain your bank account. It traps you in the constant cycle to keeping up with the people who are doing exactly the same thing. Instead, the lesson for saving more, it's coming from such a powerful change, which is desiring less. When you stop caring what other people think of you, then you will stop spending money to impress them. Think about it like this. The gap between your income and spending is where your saving live. And if you widen the gap by spending less, not because of you have to, but because of you are happy and content of what you have, then you will gain financial freedom. The book also points the people who are enduring financial success are not often the ones who have the highest income. They are the ones who don't feel necessity of showing off their wealth. And they are focusing what exactly is so important to them and not impressed to other people. The biggest takeaway here that the ability of thinking is always in your control. It's not about earning more, it's about caring what is more important to you and not what other people think. Now let's dive into lesson 4, where we will talk about the problem in predicting the future, which is one of the most humbling and fascinating ideas of the psychology of money. The book points that future is very unpredictable, yet we always rely on the past events to predict what can happen tomorrow. While of course the history might be very helpful guide, but it's wrong to predict that the worst or the best scenarios that happen in the past will match those best or worst events in the future. For example, the author says, the problem is that we often use events like Great Depression and World War II to guide our views of things like worst-case scenarios when thinking about the future investment returns. But those record-setting events had no precedent when they occurred, so the forecaster who assumed the worst and best events of the past will match the worst and best events for the future is not following history. They are accidentally assuming that history of unprecedented events doesn't apply to the future. The same goes to Fukushima nuclear disaster in 2011, which was caused by tsunami that exceeded any historical event that any engineers would ever imagine. And this lesson applies heavily in investing and financial planning. When we assume that future crisis opportunities will mirror the past events, we risk underestimating the power of unknown. Technology, politics, natural disaster, none of those follows predictable patterns. The takeaway here is that we need to respect uncertainty. The future might bring a lot of surprises, good and bad, and we can predict by solely looking to the historical events. And the best way is to plan is to build the financial flexibility in your life, having savings for unexpected, avoiding risk, and recognize the prediction, no matter how educated, often are incomplete. So in this video we just went through some of the most powerful lessons from psychology of money. Each of the lessons challenges us how we approach the money and what exactly we need to do in order to build the financial freedom. Remember that wealth it's not about the flashy things or predictable events, but it's about creating a life where you have options, security and peace of mind. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And thank you very much for watching me, and see you in the next video.